Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Salesforce for Everyone YouTube channel. I'm excited about the video that I'm going to do today, but to give you sort of a warm up, this is going to be very transparent. I'm going to talk about specific income numbers that I have seen throughout my Salesforce career. I'm going to talk a little bit about the changes that I made in my career to get to the point that I'm at today. But the biggest thing that I want this video to do is to not talk to you about how much money I make or how much I've made in the past or my Salesforce journey. Other than that, I want my journey to encourage you to do even better than I've done. And I'm going to talk to you about how I can help you do even better than I've done in my Salesforce career. So, in my opinion, I've done pretty well. I'm happy with where I'm at, and I'm happy with my life where I'm at today. But I want to take you and help you excel way beyond me, way faster than I did, and make sure that you can learn from my mistakes and do something even better with your Salesforce career, because I made a lot of mistakes and there's no reason that you can't learn from those mistakes and do exceptionally better than I've ever done in my Salesforce career. So let's jump in. I'm actually going to do something I don't often do, and that's share a presentation that I made. So right here, I'm going to go into full screen mode so that we can just focus on the presentation. So I share this information to encourage others not to settle, not to be complacent, and to continue challenging themselves to move forward. So this is all about you. While I'm going to talk about me a little bit, I don't care if you are excited about what I've done. I don't want you to look to me as someone you want to be like. I want you to look at me as someone who can take you to the next level, who can propel you forward and make you even better as a Salesforce professional. If you're already a Salesforce pro, I want to level you up. If you just heard about Salesforce and you're thinking, I'm excited about it, I'm interested in it, is it too good to be true? Let me assure you, it is not too good to be true. There is so much demand for Salesforce. There are so many job openings. You just have to tweak it and do a few things differently, and you are going to be landing jobs, making great money, just like what we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to hop into the next slide here. So looking at this, I know the words are cut off a little bit at the top. It says my income as a Salesforce professional. So these are my actual income numbers over the last 9 years. So year one, I had no experience. I was a W-2 employee, and I came in making $36,000 a year. So not a great salary, but for a lot of people, it's respectable. And especially when you think about what comes next and how much can my salary increase over the next few years. So we come to 36,000. Well, after that first year, I started doing some consulting and I made $55,000. In year three, I continued consulting, made $60,000. In year four, I was able to level up to 72,000 plus got a bonus structure. So that year I was able to make $92,000 total. In year five, I was then making $120,000 still consulting. So from that extent, covering the first 5 years, I know that was sort of like fast forward. So year one, I was working a W-2 job for a local company. I knew nothing about Salesforce. I had no Salesforce certifications. I applied for a job. To be completely honest, I lucked out and landed that job. And I made $36,000, which for me at the time, I was 22 years old and I was excited and happy to make that amount of money. Now, year two, I'd sort of gotten my Salesforce chops. I had a couple of certifications and I moved into a junior consulting role, making $55,000. Year three, I felt more confident, moved into, basically just got a raise at the company I was at. And then I started realizing the income potential. So again, I didn't have any guidance. I didn't have anyone telling me this has been done by hundreds and thousands of people before you, and you can do so much better than you're doing. No one was telling me that, but I'm here to tell you that, and we're going to talk about it in a minute. So year three, I was still consulting. Year 4 and 5, I finally felt like I had reached my potential. That wow, I was, probably 26 years old, making $100,000 or more, and I just felt like I had hit the top of what Salesforce was, what a career path looked like. I had hit that, elusive 6-figure mark, and I just felt like I was on top of the world. And it was extremely respectable. It was, I had a privilege of being there, especially at 26 years old. And I don't want you to focus on my age. I really want you to focus on the number of years it took to get there. So whether you're 21 or 61, I don't really care. I want you to focus on where you can go from year 1 to year 5. Now, from there, I made a personal decision. My daughter was born, and I decided to go into freelance consulting. The main reason is I wanted to work less. So the first year, I took a major pay cut. And I actually thought I was taking a pay cut to 60,000, but I got a couple of clients, and I ended up making $100,000 my first year freelancing, which of course I can show you how to do that if that's what you're interested in. And so I took a $20,000 pay cut technically that first year, but I was only working 20 hours a week. And from there on out, for the rest of my career, up until the point where I'm at today, I've continued to work 20 hours a week, building my freelance consulting business. And as I've gotten better at freelancing, as I've gotten better at finding long-term clients, charging the right rates, being more efficient and effective with the work I do, I've been able to, over the last 4 years here, go from making $100,000 working half-time, 20 hours a week, to this last year, 2019, making $225,000 working part-time. So you can definitely level up. And again, this isn't about me. It's about what I want you to be capable of. And I just want this to encourage you that I'm not the exception. I'm the rule. If you look at people that I just interviewed Jordan last week. He is a W-2 employee, 3 years experience, 1 certification, making $120,000 a year. So when you look at that, you need to be aware that you don't even have to go consulting. You don't have to have 5 certifications. You don't have to do the optimal path. You can make $100,000 plus just following a standard path. And if you're not making $100,000 plus and you have 3 years experience, reach out to me. I want to talk to you about what we can do. So let's take a closer look at this. Now, obviously my income went way up over 9 years, but I actually want to look at what we can do to make this even better. So number one, I want to note, I wasn't optimized. I did it all wrong. Or I did a lot wrong. I did a lot right, but I did a lot wrong. I could have moved much faster. I could have at year 2, 3, I shouldn't have been consulting making $50,000 or $60,000. That was extremely low for consulting. But at the time, I didn't know that. No one was telling me what I should be making. So really moving into year 4 is where I started realizing where I should have been and what I should have been making. And I could have been doing a lot better earlier on. So I figured this stuff out myself. In my opinion, I still had incredible success, but you can do better. You can learn from my mistakes, and you can choose to make more or work less based on the lifestyle that's right for you. So let's hop into what I feel 100% confident that we could do for you if you're interested. And I want you to know you can do this yourself. You can absolutely do it yourself. I did it myself, and I promise you, I'm not a genius. I don't have like secrets that I'm not telling you. You can do this stuff yourself. You can follow, some of the advice from the Salesforce for Everyone Facebook group and the YouTube channel, and you can do all this stuff yourself. So I want to point that out first. I don't have like a secret sauce. I've done this over and over. I've done this for a lot of people, and I can repeat it for you. So that's why I'm so confident that your income should look more like this. You should go year 1, no experience, $60,000. I started 36. You should be making $60,000. Year 2, I was making 55 consulting. I don't even think you need to go into consulting. You should stick out another year if you want to and make $80,000 at your W-2 job. Year 3, you can choose to go into consulting if you want to, or you can stick out another year with the W-2 position and you should be making $100,000. And I don't say this isn't guesswork. This isn't, oh, I hope it works out this way. Hypothetically, you could make this much. No, this is repeatable steps. This is consistent. This is typical. This is extremely practical to expect this. And if you're looking at this going year 3, working a W-2 job, making $100,000, no way, you probably want to come talk to me about why you're not making $100,000. If you have a year or 2 of experience and you're making less than $60,000 to $80,000, you should probably come talk to me about why that's happening. So let's see here. So year 4, I want you to be definitely moving into consulting at that point. I would recommend it unless you love your W-2 job. You should move into consulting. That's where you can break down that income. So in W-2, you're typically going to cap out around 100,000 unless you move into a management position or take control of a, maybe an IT or delivery team. So now it's time to move into consulting so we can realize some of this income gain. So we're going to move into consulting, and I want you to be making 110,000 as your base pay at this consulting company, plus $20,000 of bonuses based on how well you do, how many hours you bill, those kind of things. You should be making another 20 grand in bonuses. Let's go into year 5. Let's go into consulting again. So at this point, you can make a pivot. You can say, do I want to consult or do I want to move into freelance consulting? Either way, I can help you. So consulting or freelancing, you're probably going to expect to be making somewhere around $120,000 to $140,000 in your 5th year. So keep in mind, so many industries are at year 5, you're still a junior resource, maybe intermediate, and you're probably looking at moving into management positions, taking on all types of responsibility. I don't want you to take on responsibility. I don't want you to be a manager. I want you to report to someone, be in control of your hours, be flexible, get your job done, and make more than your managers, right? So let's talk about moving into consulting. And now we're going to jump into freelance consulting, because this is how, consultants make, $100,000 to $150,000 a year. I don't want you to stop there. I wish someone was guiding me saying, Brad, you can move into freelance consulting. Luckily, I took the plunge. I challenged myself. I figured this out for myself, and I stumbled a lot, but you shouldn't have to. I can take you to that next level and show you how to do it. So year 6, 7, 8, and 9, we're going to level up our freelance consulting game. Right out of the gates, I want you making $140K a year. 2nd year freelancing, you're going to get a little better. You're going to get better clients. You're going to bill hours more actively, more efficiently. You're going to be productive. And we're going to take you to 180. Year 8, 220. Year 9, we're going to take you all the way up to 250 plus. And the reason I know you can do that is because I make $225,000 working part-time. So I feel confident, even if you do half as well as I do, and it takes you have to work 40 hours a week, I promise you're going to make over $200,000. I don't want to, make claims that aren't, repeatable all the time, or I don't want to set unrealistic expectations. But in all honesty, I think someone with 7, 8, 9 years experience in the Salesforce freelance space should be making $300,000, especially if you're working full time. And if you want to grind, you can probably make $400,000. I mean, if I just double down on what I'm doing now, I should be making $400,000, right? So now I do have a lot of experience, but that came with the W-2 jobs and the consulting and the experimenting with freelancing. And if you follow a path, which I can hold your hand and walk you down, then you are going to see very similar results and much better than what I did. And again, even though I think I did pretty well, you can do a lot better. And this is no joke. Like, if you think it's too good to be true, just start at year 1. I'm not telling you you're going to make $200,000 tomorrow. I'm not telling you you're going to make $100,000 tomorrow, but I'm telling you to start at year 1 and let me show you how to make $60,000 on year 1. And then that's the tip of the iceberg. In five years later, on year 5, I'm going to have you making $140,000, right? So don't worry about your first starting year salary. Like I try to tell so many people, even if you're taking a step back and today you make 80 and you have to take a job making 60, don't worry about it, because 2, 3, 4 years from now, you're going to be making way more than you ever were on your current trajectory. So the next thing I want to talk about is that you can absolutely do this yourself. Don't mistake me. If you're a DIYer, and you're ready to take the challenge and you want to go through all the steps and you want to sort of trip over and make the mistakes and learn from the mistakes, and you think that'll develop your character and who you are as a professional, you can do it yourself. Absolutely. I don't want you to take any of my courses if you're the type of person who says, nah, Brad, I hear what you're saying. I get the vision. I'm going to go do it. I'm going to do it myself. Go do it yourself. You absolutely can. I would advise hopping into the Salesforce for Everyone Facebook group. That could help you get in on some conversations that could be beneficial. I would advise perusing the YouTube channel and taking a look at some of the other videos and just clicking on topics that sort of align with things that you want to learn about. check that out. And it's all free, right? I'm not asking you for anything. Now, if you want to say, I think I could do it myself, or I'm scared to death, there's no way I'm doing this myself. Reach out to me. Find me on LinkedIn. Check out the video description on this video, and I will talk you through how we can guide you through this. We do have a 6-month program where I can take you from, I don't care if you're a bartender today, or you're a school teacher, or you dropped out of college because you just didn't feel like you were getting your money's worth. I don't care where you are today. In 6 months or less, I can have you making $60,000 or more as a Salesforce professional. And we're already doing this with other people, and they're already in the program, and they're going, holy smokes, like, I'm so glad I got in. And the price is going to go up. We're doing, we have a baseline price. You can check it out for the first 50 members. We've got 15 right now. We're going to do 35 more, and that's it for that price. So we can do that. And then if we take a step back and we go, well, Brad, I know you can give me my first job making 60 to 80K, but what about the next steps? No problem. The career development doesn't stop there. We're going to continue to work with you long-term. Make sure you're successful. Make sure you're moving into the consulting space that works well for you. Make sure you're getting the certifications that are a good fit for you and your goal as a Salesforce professional. And then we're going to take you all the way into freelance consulting, building your own business. So obviously, get started. Don't worry about year 2, 3, 8, 9, 10. Worry about year 1, landing your first job. Let's focus on that, and let's take you to that next level, because that's where we need to get. And that's where I want you to be. So by all means, if you have any questions, check out the video description, leave a comment, ask me any questions that you have there. Find me on LinkedIn, find me on Facebook. Do whatever you need to do. Reach out to me. I'm very transparent. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. I just want to make sure that you see me as someone who made a lot of mistakes and that you can learn from those mistakes, not someone that is the top of the potential, because I'm not the top of the potential. I'm somewhere in the middle, and I'm going to show you how you can race to where I am today and then pass me and keep running forward. So anyway, reach out to me, leave comments, find me on LinkedIn, shoot me a message. I'm happy to help. Thanks for watching the videos. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for being here and sort of following me on this journey as I try to help other people become Salesforce professionals. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the other side, making way more money than I do, way more successful than I am, and just enjoying life. Thanks a lot.